get ready to grip your seat, because today we're taking you on a heart-stopping journey down some of the most dangerous roads on Earth. From cliffside highways with no guardrails to twisting mountain passes that vanish into the clouds, these roads test even the bravest drivers. So buckle up as we explore where one wrong turn could mean the difference between life and death. These are the top 10 most dangerous roads in the world. Have you ever driven on a road that feels like it's about to be swallowed by the sea? Welcome to Norway's Atlantic Ocean Road, a breathtaking 5-mile stretch that winds across tiny islands, connected by a series of dramatic bridges. It's often called one of the most beautiful drives in the world. And from above, it almost looks like the road is floating on water. Tourists come here for the sweeping ocean views and the thrill of crossing bridges that seem to leap into the sky. But beauty comes with danger. What makes the Atlantic Ocean Road so treacherous is the North Atlantic weather. Strong storms sweep in without warning, battering the coast with hurricane-force winds. Waves can actually crash over the road and bridges, drenching cars and sometimes even forcing drivers to stop until the sea calms down. Imagine driving along only to see a wall of water slam right in front of you. Add to that slick, wet roads, powerful crosswinds that can shove your car sideways, and blind curves over the bridges, and it's easy to see why this scenic drive demands serious caution. Still, for many thrill seekers and photographers, the risk is worth it. Because when the sun breaks through and the ocean is calm, there's truly nothing like it. Imagine driving along a road where sheer marble cliffs rise above you and a raging river roars hundreds of feet below. This is Taroko Gorge Road in Taiwan, a breathtaking yet terrifying stretch of highway that winds through one of Asia's most dramatic natural wonders. Part of Taiwan's Central Cross Island Highway, Taroko Gorge Road is famous for its stunning scenery. Narrow canyons, lush jungle, and tunnels literally blasted through solid rock. At every twist and turn, it feels like nature is both showing off and testing your courage. But this beauty hides serious risks. The road is extremely tight, often barely wide enough for two vehicles to pass, forcing drivers to edge terrifyingly close to cliff faces. Or worse, sheer drops. Sudden, blind corners and unlit tunnels keep you on constant alert. What makes it even more dangerous are the frequent rock falls and landslides triggered by heavy rain or earthquakes. Massive boulders can crash onto the roadway without warning, turning a peaceful drive into a deadly trap. So while Taroko Gorge Road promises one of the most unforgettable drives in the world, it's also one of the most hazardous. Would you take the chance to experience this masterpiece of nature, even with all its hidden dangers? Leaving Asia behind, we climb into the Andes of Chile and Argentina, tackling endless switchbacks high above the clouds. In the rugged Andes Mountains between Chile and Argentina lies one of the world's most nerve-wracking roads, Paso de los Libertadores, also known as the Cristo Redentor Pass. At first glance, it's a breathtaking sight. Endless mountains, crisp alpine air, and a road that seems to snake endlessly upward into the clouds. But this beauty masks a treacherous challenge for anyone daring enough to drive it. On the Chilean side, the route features the infamous Snails of the Andes, a series of over 29 tight switchback turns stacked one after another like a dizzying spiral staircase. Drivers must carefully navigate each bend, often with nothing but a thin guardrail separating them from a plunge of thousands of feet. To make matters worse, weather here is brutally unpredictable. Snow and ice can arrive suddenly, transforming already steep, narrow roads into slick death traps. Dense fog often rolls in without warning, reducing visibility to mere meters. Heavy trucks and buses use this vital trade route every day, adding to the congestion and the constant threat of head-on collisions on those hairpin curves. So while Paso de los Libertadores is a stunning gateway between nations, it's also a test of nerves and skill. For those brave enough to cross it, the rewards are unforgettable, but so are the risks. Next, we swap South America's towering peaks for New Zealand's rugged canyons with hairpin turns that test every nerve. Tucked away in New Zealand's rugged South Island near Queenstown lies Skipper's Canyon Road, a twisting, narrow track carved into sheer cliff faces, and often ranked among the world's most dangerous roads. At first, it might seem like a scenic backcountry drive. You'll see breathtaking views of deep gorges, the shot-over river snaking below, and golden hills that stretch for miles. But this is no ordinary country lane. Skipper's Canyon Road was carved by hand during the 1800s gold rush, and more than a century later, it hasn't changed much. It's extremely narrow, often only wide enough for a single vehicle, with no guardrails to stop you from plunging hundreds of feet into the canyon. Passing oncoming traffic becomes a nerve-wracking negotiation. Someone has to reverse until there's just enough space to squeeze by. Add to that loose gravel, sudden drops, and blind corners, and it's easy to see why rental car companies in New Zealand won't even insure you if you take this road. Despite the danger, thrill seekers flock here for the adventure and jaw-dropping scenery. Because in Skipper's Canyon, the payoff is huge if you've got the nerves to handle it. From New Zealand, we ascend into India's Himalayas, where muddy trails cling to icy cliffs at staggering altitudes. Zoji La Pass, a road that's as breathtaking as it is terrifying. Sitting over 11,500 feet above sea level, this narrow mountain route connects the lush Kashmir Valley to the remote region of Ladakh. And it's a lifeline for locals and the military alike. But Zojila is no ordinary mountain pass. The road is little more than a muddy track etched into steep, crumbling cliffs, with sheer drops that plunge thousands of feet. There are no sturdy guardrails, just piles of loose stones that do little to calm your nerves. What makes it truly dangerous is the weather. Snowstorms can bury the road for months, and even in summer, sudden rains turn it into a slick, muddy mess. Landslides are common, and drivers often find themselves waiting hours or days for heavy equipment to clear massive rocks blocking the way. Heavy trucks, buses, and brave local drivers all jostle for space on this one-lane path, sometimes inching past each other with barely an inch to spare. For all its danger, Zoji La Pass is also a stunning gateway to Ladakh's otherworldly landscapes. But if you ever decide to tackle it, be prepared for a journey that's as heart-stopping as it is unforgettable. Crossing borders, we venture between Pakistan and China, driving one of the world's highest highways, shadowed by landslides and avalanches. They call it the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. Stretching over 800 miles, the Karakoram Highway links Pakistan with China, winding through some of the highest mountains on Earth. Built through the formidable Karakoram Range, this highway reaches elevations of over 15,000 feet, making it the highest paved international road in the world. Along the way, it slices through dramatic valleys, glaciers, and peaks that tower above like stone giants. But beauty comes with a price. The Karakoram Highway is also one of the most dangerous roads on the planet. Landslides and rockfalls are an almost daily threat, triggered by rain, earthquakes, or simply the unstable nature of the mountains themselves. One moment, it's clear. The next, a massive boulder crashes down, blocking the road or crushing anything in its path, drivers face narrow, crumbling stretches with sheer drops into deep ravines, no guardrails, and hairpin turns that demand complete concentration. Add to that unpredictable weather, ranging from sudden snowstorms to blinding fog, and you have a journey that tests both skill and nerve. Yet despite all the risks, thousands travel this road every year, drawn by its staggering beauty and the adventure of crossing one of the most spectacular mountain regions on Earth. So, would you dare to drive the Karakoram Highway? Back into China, we squeeze through rock tunnels barely wide enough for a single car, peering out at sheer drops. Hidden away in the towering Taihang Mountains of China is one of the world's most jaw-dropping roads, the Guoliang Tunnel Road. But this isn't just any tunnel. It was hand-carved by a handful of determined villagers back in the 1970s who used simple tools like hammers and chisels to connect their isolated mountain village of Guoliang to the outside world. The result? A roughly hewn tunnel, about 15 feet high and 12 feet wide, stretching nearly a mile through sheer rock. What makes this road so dangerous isn't just its narrow size or rough surface, it's the dozens of irregular windows cut right into the cliff face. These openings offer breathtaking views of the valley far below, but also reveal just how close you are to the edge. With no real barriers to keep vehicles from plunging off the side, even a small mistake can be fatal. Add in sharp turns, poor lighting inside the tunnel, and heavy fog that can roll in unexpectedly, and driving the Guoliang Tunnel Road becomes a test of nerves. Yet it's precisely this combination of danger and stunning scenery that draws travelers from around the world. Because here, every turn is a reminder of both human perseverance and just how thin the line can be between thrill and tragedy. If there's one road that truly separates the bold from the unprepared, it's Alaska's James Dalton Highway. A 414-mile stretch of isolation, ice, and pure grit. Built to support the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, this remote road starts near Fairbanks and climbs north into the Arctic Circle, ending in the oil fields of Prudhoe Bay. But this isn't just a supply route. It's a full-blown survival test. The Dalton is often coated in ice, snow, or thick mud, depending on the season. Temperatures can plummet below negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and storms sweep in without warning. The wind? Relentless. Cell service? Practically non-existent. And gas stations? Only 3 total along the entire route. Truckers dominate the road, barreling along at high speed with heavy loads, throwing up gravel and reducing visibility to zero. One bad move on these unpaved, potholed tracks, and you're stranded in the middle of nowhere. Drivers are required to carry survival gear, because up here help might be hours or days away. Despite the danger, the Dalton offers some of the most jaw-dropping views in North America. Endless tundra, towering peaks, and the eerie beauty of the Arctic wilderness. But make no mistake, this isn't a road for tourists. It's the real deal, and it demands respect. Then it's back to Pakistan, inching along rocky ledges with 1,000-foot drops and not a guardrail in sight. Deep in Pakistan's Gilgit-Baltistan region lies a road so terrifying, it's often called one of the most dangerous on Earth, Fairy Meadows Road. Don't let the name fool you. This is no gentle fairy tale. The road is a rough, narrow dirt track hacked into the side of sheer cliffs with nothing but empty air on one side, and drops that plunge thousands of feet straight down. Stretching for about 10 miles from the village of Rykot Bridge to the tiny settlement of Tatu, it's barely wide enough for a single Jeep. No guardrails, no barriers, just loose rocks and heart-pounding switchbacks. Even experienced local drivers white-knuckle their way through here. What makes it even scarier? It's all at the mercy of the weather. Rain can turn the road into a muddy slipway, while landslides frequently block the path or wipe sections away entirely. But for those who brave the journey, the reward is beyond words. At the end of this perilous route lies Fairy Meadows, a lush alpine paradise with jaw-dropping views of Nanga Parbat, the world's 9th highest peak. It's a place of surreal beauty. But to reach it, you have to face one of the world's most treacherous roads. A true adventure for only the most daring travelers. Finally, we arrive in Bolivia, where misty cliffs hide one of the most dangerous stretches of road on Earth. High in the Bolivian Andes lies a road with a chilling nickname, Death Road. Officially known as the North Yungas Road, this infamous stretch winds from La Paz down into the lush Amazon rainforest, dropping over 11,000 feet in just 40 miles. At first glance, it's breathtaking. Dense jungle clings to towering cliffs, waterfalls spill across the road, and mist drifts through the mountains. But this beauty hides a deadly truth. The North Yungas Road is little more than a narrow dirt track, often no wider than 10 feet, carved into sheer cliffs with drops of up to 2,000 feet, and no guardrails. During the rainy season, fog and downpours turn it into a muddy, slippery nightmare. Rocks fall without warning, and waterfalls can literally wash vehicles off the edge. For decades, trucks and buses squeeze past each other with terrifying precision. A single mistake, a tire slipping just inches too far, could mean a plunge into oblivion. By some estimates, hundreds of people died on this road every year, earning it its ominous name. Today, much of the traffic has shifted to a safer bypass, but Death Road remains popular with thrill-seeking mountain bikers eager to test their courage. Because on the North Yungas Road, it's not just a drive. It's a brush with one of the most perilous routes on the planet. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through the world's most dangerous roads. If you enjoyed the journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an adventure. Comment down below your thoughts about these roads, and until next time, drive safe and keep exploring.